All right, guys, thank you for joining us today. I'm Bree, and this is Matty. We are nutrition and mental fit coaches at CrossFit Glen Burnie. Today, we're going to take a closer look at the 4 foundations of hormone health and how a holistic approach can help you live in hormone harmony.
At CrossFit Glen Burnie, we're partnered with Healthy Steps Nutrition to support our clients using a framework that's guided, tested, and proven. We believe something as fundamental as nutrition should not be complicated, which is why we focus on simple and habit-based approach. It's not just about nutrition that ensures a healthy lifestyle. We also address stress, exercise, sleep, lifestyle, and support system.
All right, let me introduce you to Kelly. So Kelly signed up for a nutrition challenge after struggling to lose weight and gain muscle mass for her upcoming military training. What Kelly ended up loving about HSN was our holistic approach. We often talked about stress and sleep and her support system because we knew that these aspects of her life were directly affecting her exercise and nutrition. I actually just spoke to Kelly in August, and the habits that she developed almost a year ago have led to sustainable results for her still today. Now, why did I decide to share Kelly's story over the countless success stories that we have at Healthy Steps Nutrition? Well, when I first started coaching Kelly, one of her main concerns was hormone health. She reported feeling bloated and tired and just overall not feeling like herself. So today we're going to share 4 areas on hormone health that actually helped Kelly along with her journey and hopefully along yours as well. If you're looking to create a success story of your own, we will have a slide at the end where you can register to chat with Matty or I and find out if accountability coaching is right for you.
Yes. So on that note, let's talk about hormones. Hormones play a critical role in regulating many functions in our bodies. When those levels get disrupted, it can lead to a variety of issues from mood swings to sleep problems and even metabolic disorders. What I find is incredible is how everything is interconnected. What we eat, how we move, even our stress levels can all influence our hormonal balance. Making small lifestyle changes like eating whole foods, managing stress, and getting enough sleep can significantly help in maintaining that balance.
So when we examine these areas, we can see how they are all connected to each other. Let's take a look at the first one, which is gut health. So did you know that 80% of our immune system resides in our gut? The gut is the gateway to your system. Trillions of immune cells line your GI tract and serve as the first line of defense against viruses and bacteria. This is known as your gut microbiome, which is made up of good and bad bacteria. The more good we have, the healthier we are. But when the gut is imbalanced, problems will arise. So, what factors influence your gut health? Environmental toxins, diet, stress, and even medications like antibiotics can create havoc on the gut by irritating that gut lining. The irritation can lead to inflammation, nutrient deficiencies, and a host of other health issues, including hormone imbalances. So here's how our hormones can be affected. Estrogen levels. When too much estrogen is present, it may lead to heavy periods and also contribute to uterine fibroids and breast cancer. Cortisol levels. When the gut is constantly inflamed, it messes with our stress managing hormone, cortisol. Also, sex hormones. Chronic inflammation may disrupt estrogen and testosterone.
Okay. So then the next one we're going to discuss is our liver health. So the liver is our detox organ and plays an important role in the management of hormones, even though it doesn't actually make any of them. Here's 2 ways the liver helps. First, metabolizing hormones. The liver helps break down hormones so they work properly. Second, regulating the levels and supports hormone production. It removes any excess hormones from the body to keep things in balance. So if your liver is unable to be efficient because it's bogged down by these excess hormones and unable to process as quickly, this can create a hormonal imbalance. Ways to naturally help create balance includes reducing alcohol and reducing the amount of plastics you reheat your food in. Did you know that the liver works the hardest between the hours of 3 and 5 a.m.? So if you have alcohol the night before, your liver will be working hard to removing those toxins instead of regulating your body's hormones. We can also see a disruption in your sleep during that time as well.
That's right.
In addition, we can also make changes by using glass containers when heating up our foods, which will help eliminate that excess of estrogen buildup that can be found in plastics.
Foundation number 3 is blood sugar balance. So constant ebbs and flows in your blood sugar are natural, but we want to keep it as stable as possible. Insulin is a hormone that helps with the uptake of glucose to be used as energy from carbohydrates. By reducing excess blood sugar and insulin secretion into the body, you can avoid storing glucose as fat that ends up around the abdomen, which can cause further hormonal imbalances. Here are a few tips to help keep your blood sugar balanced throughout the day to avoid those spikes and crashes. Pair protein with every meal and snack. Carbs and protein are the happiest marriage there is. Go for a 10 to 15-minute walk after your meals. This is not only going to help with your blood sugar balance, but also your metabolism and your digestion. Consume low glycemic index carbs. Minimize added sugar from foods and beverages. And try to eat every 3 to 4 hours to avoid those crashes. Regularly implementing these action steps in the long term will help with your blood sugar balance.
Number 4 is inflammation. Inflammation is key to hormone health. Understanding what foods your body has trouble processing and limiting those foods will help you fight inflammation. This means avoiding and significantly reducing processed meats, sugar-sweetened beverages, and foods high in salt and trans fat, which will also decrease overall inflammation. Inflammation in the long term can affect our gut, which we just talked about, by being unable to absorb higher levels of nutrition, and the body deprioritizes reproductive processes, which could appear as atypical ovulation cycles. So who here feels like they eat over 30 different whole fruits, veggies, nuts each week? That might be something that is a good way of checking in individually, because that might be hard. But I will encourage you, by consuming around this many different whole foods each week, will help provide your body with nutrients to help fight off inflammation with polyphenols, which contain antioxidants to help combat that inflammation. So here are the top 5 inflammation-fighting foods to consider having in your weekly rotation. Number 1 being berries, leafy greens such as broccoli or spinach, fatty fish like wild-caught salmon. Turmeric is an excellent addition in your diet, as well as tomatoes. Even low levels of inflammation can disrupt hormones. Eat a wide variety of antioxidant-rich foods to help lower inflammation.
Absolutely. And we do have a resource that's going to be available too for getting in those 30 different plants each week. It sounds daunting, but we have a simple way to help you keep that on track. All right, let's move on to our HSN core principles. Remember that hormone balance is complex and individualized, so what works for one person might not be the answer for you. However, there are some basic ways to get on the right track. It's essential that we take a look at what we are eating and how it impacts our health. Having explored tips to help you find balance with your hormones, let's shift to these Healthy Steps Nutrition core principles. Number one is focusing on whole foods first. We should start choosing whole food options and less processed food that's packaged with sodium, fat, and sugar. A simple way to start this is by reshaping your plate using the plate method. Number two is focus on a balance of macronutrients. When I say balance, I mean, does every meal and snack that you consume throughout the day contain carbs, protein, and fat? Again, the plate method is a great way to do this. It's where you're going to have half of your plate as non-starchy veggies, a quarter lean protein, a quarter fiber-filled starch, and a dose of healthy fat. So pairing each meal with and snack with all three macronutrients can help keep you fuller longer. Most people will feel their best with fueling with 40% carbohydrates, 30% fat, and 30% protein. However, that can vary for each individual. Number three is limiting the amount of processed carbs and sugar. The American Heart Association recommends no more than 6 teaspoons, which is about 24 grams, for women, and 9 teaspoons, which is about 36 grams, for men a day. The average person consumes 150 pounds of sugar per year. That is 46 teaspoons per day. It's not surprising that sugar is one of the most widely available addictive substances in the US. It feels hidden in almost every food product that you find in a package. We've seen it in bacon, health bars, and even some baby food. Read those labels.
Yeah.
So at CrossFit Glen Burnie, we want to meet you where you are. And to do that, we've created programs that are specifically geared toward you. We offer personal and virtual coaching at 2 different levels. We do have a high accountability membership. This is where you're going to meet with a coach in person or virtually 2 times a month. You're also going to get access to our exclusive HSN app where you can be in constant communication daily with your coach. You will also receive mental fit coaching where we can dive deeper into that mind-body connection and provide support for not only your physical health, but also your mental health. You will also get weekly check-in messages from your coach and free registration to any of our nutrition challenges at CrossFit Glen Burnie. We do, of course, have a standard accountability membership as well. With that membership, you're going to be meeting with a coach once a month and still getting access to that app and those nutrition challenges.
Great. So now we're going to take some time to discuss some common questions that we've received about hormones. So, one thing that we're asked is what causes a hormonal imbalance? So fluctuating hormones is actually a part of being a woman and for the majority of our lives. However, the difference between fluctuations and imbalances is what we want to focus on. A hormonal imbalance can be caused by changes in life stages such as puberty, pregnancy, and menopause. Symptoms could include irritability and fatigue, mood swings, dry skin, or loss of elasticity, water retention and weight gain, particularly in the midsection, osteoporosis and joint pain, loss of interest in sex, insomnia, and even memory issues. So while these symptoms and changes are common, there are actions that we can take to regain control. Sorry.
You're good. All right. So, Matty, we know we get a lot of questions about hormone health and people who are having cycles, but what about menopause?
Yes, actually, so this is something that with HSN, we encourage women to follow these meno laws. So the first law or rule that we encourage women during this phase of life is focusing on our protein. we're saying, oh my gosh.
We have an assistant. I love it.
Yep. Okay. So we want to focus on that protein. We're not saying go low carb by any means. However, we're looking to increase that protein. This is because the lower estrogen levels, which naturally increase our insulin resistance and slows down the digestion process. So ideally, you're consuming 1 gram per pound of ideal body weight. So for instance, an example would be 120 grams of protein if your target body weight is 120. And then the amount of carbs you consume is just slightly less than that protein intake. Hopefully that makes sense. But definitely prioritizing that protein with breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and also pairing our snacks with our protein would be a great start. The next law would be including a small amount of complex carbs, at dinner. This helps support serotonin levels at night. We often hear how sleep is impacted during menopause. So if blood sugar dips too low, this can cause a disruption. In addition, we're also saying take a walk, particularly in the morning, especially outside. This will help with our circadian rhythm and helps with how our body metabolizes food throughout the day. Lastly, strength train at least 3 times a week. This is going to help increase our metabolism without spiking our cortisol levels, and it will also help with bone density.
Awesome. Thank you for that.
Yes, assistant.
We also get a question a lot of what other effects can diet have on your hormones? If you have been to your OBGYN at any time and you've brought up hormone health, you've probably been offered some different testing or different medications, but I'm curious to know if they brought up nutrition. Probably hearing crickets right now because it's not discussed enough. But what we put into the body is directly going to affect your hormones. So a balanced diet of whole foods is going to help with increasing your metabolism, supporting a strong immune system, helping to regulate your menstrual cycle, and have healthy reproduction, not only for females, but also for males. And also decreasing stress. Remember that cortisol hormone that we talked about.
Yeah, that's a great point. So I hope by now this talk gives you a simple and clear picture on what factors influence our hormones. Start by asking yourself, what am I doing now? And what can I do to improve hormone health? We will leave you with an easy to remember term, GLIB. So gut health, liver, inflammation, and blood sugar balance. These 4 factors that help regulate the foundations of hormone health. Think about just one thing that you can take action on.
Absolutely. Make sure you leave a comment as well if you are wanting more information on any of those terms on GLIB, on gut health, liver health, inflammation, or blood sugar balance. Healthy Steps Nutrition has helped over 5,000 people around the world take control of their health. These are some of our success stories that we've had from past nutrition challenges, past one-on-one coaching. So lots of good success there. Matty, can you tell us about our podcast?
Yes. So it's if you're looking to hear more about this program that can change your life, tune into the Nutrition Made Simple podcast.
Absolutely. All right, guys, we are going to leave you with this. Thank you for joining us today. We do have a free cookbook that we would love to offer you. All you need to do is scan this QR code here, and we will link a free cookbook to you. If you are ready to get started with coaching, you can also find more information on that here.
Yes, and thank you for joining us at Dig In with Bree and Matty.
Thanks, guys. We'll see you next time.